Hi everyone, this is Mr. Castro speaking, and today is March 18, 2020. This lesson is being recorded for my English 11 students at San Ysidro High. I hope that you are all healthy, safe, and practicing social distancing at home. Now, for this lesson, I am going to go over all the steps that you need to follow to complete and submit your problem solution essay for competency number 2. This assignment will require 5 steps. Step number 1, understand your topic and determine your audience. Step number 2, gather evidence for your essay by completing a research log. Step 3, type your essay in MLA format. Step 4, add a works cited page to your essay. And lastly, step 5, submit your essay. Please make sure to follow these directions carefully. The cool thing about this video is that you can pause and rewind the video if you find yourself confused about any step of the process. However, if you are still confused about what to do after you rewatch the video, just send me an email or a message through Remind 101. Now let's get started. Step 1, understand your topic and determine your audience. I assigned each of you an essay topic last week. If you were absent and you have no idea what your topic is, send me an email or a message through Remind 101. Once you do know what your topic is, go to my class website at gonzalocastro.wixsite.com/syhs. You can also click on the link below this video to get to my class website. So once you are on my class website, click on English 11 at the top of the page, then scroll down and click on Topic and Audience Packet. Look for your assigned topic and read about it. If you are confused about your topic, just email or message me. Once you understand your topic, scroll down and read about each CEO. A CEO is a chief executive officer, or in other words, the person in charge of a company or nonprofit organization. Determine which CEO, based on his or her values and concerns, would care about your topic. That CEO will be your audience. So by writing this problem solution essay, your goal is to persuade your audience to develop a bias in favor of your proposed solution. Since your audience already cares about your issue, he or she would be likely to actually support your solution as long as you can provide a good argument to support your solution. So now for step 2. Once you understand your topic and also once you have identified a CEO as your audience, you want to gather evidence for your essay by completing a research log. So go back to my class website and click on English 11 at the top. And on the English 11 page, scroll down and click on Problem Solution Essay Research Log. Click on File and click on Make a Copy. Click on OK. If you are unable to make a copy, it's most likely because you are not signed into your Google account. So make sure to sign in first. After making a copy, the research log is now saved on your Google Drive. So let me show you how to fill in your research log. Simply Google search your topic. Let's pretend I'm writing an essay on child labor in North Korea. So I'll type that in as my topic, child labor in North Korea. Now, you want to Google search your topic, but you also want to make sure you're finding credible sources. What that means is that the source of information is more trustworthy. So examples of credible sources would include websites like BBC News, the Associated Press, the United Nations. These are names of credible news sites or organizations. Non-credible sources are less trustworthy sources, such as Yahoo Answers, Reddit, and Quora. Basically, these are websites in which the information is coming from random people posting online. Wikipedia would also be considered a non-credible source because anyone can edit and change the information. So you want to make sure that your information is coming from a news website, a university, an organization, a nonprofit organization, or um, maybe even like a government. So somewhere credible. So going back to my example, um, after Google searching child labor in North Korea, so I'm typing in child labor in North Korea. You want to look through the results and look for credible sources. So something I noticed is that there's a search result from Reuters News right here, which is a credible source. So I'm clicking on the link, and after I read through the article, if I decide to use it, then I will start filling in the research log. So this is my first research log entry. It's a 2-page research log because you need to find two sources of information for your essay. Pages 3 and 4, you have an example of how to fill it out, but I'll show you how to fill out this first entry. So you want to put today's date as a date of search. You want to put it in MLA format, which is day, month, year. So today is the 18th of March, 2020. So I'm deciding to use this first source. So the author's name is Stephanie Nebehai, but I want to put it in this format right here. So last name, comma, first name. So Nebehai Stephanie. Next, we want to put the title of the text, which is right here. Whoops. So let's copy and paste that. And I'll shrink that because it's big. Next, we want the name of the website, which is Reuters. So typing in Reuters. Next, I need the publisher. So what that means is that there's a bigger organization that owns this website. So for example, if I go to the Daily Aztec website, that's a newspaper of SDSU. So the name of the website would be the Daily Aztec. The publisher would be San Diego State University. An easy way to determine if there is a publisher is to scroll to the very bottom of the website and look at the copyright information. See, letter C in the circle, that stands for copyright. So copyright 2020 Reuters. So Reuters is a news organization that basically owns itself. So there's no publisher, there's no bigger company. So if there's no publisher, you put N period P period for no publisher. Going back to the author, if you find any sources that you want to use that do not have an author's name, then you simply type in N period A period, meaning no author. Lastly, we see two more things here, the publication date. So if you go back to the very top of the page, we see October 4, 2017. So I'm going to put it in MLA format. Once again, that's day, month, year. So October 4, 2017. And then lastly, copy and paste the URL, which is the link of the website, which is right there. So for the publication date, if you don't see a date for the website or for the web page, you can scroll to the bottom, and you could also use 2020 in this case, the copyright year, as the date of publication, but only use that as a date of publication if there's no other date on the website. If there's no date at all on the website, you could type in N period D period, which stands for no date. Okay. Now the last part of this research log entry, we need to copy and paste at least two pieces of evidence, and we want to try to find examples of different persuasive appeals, meaning ethos, pathos, and logos. Because your essay won't be that interesting if you're just throwing statistic after statistic at your audience. You want to have different kinds of persuasive appeals to make your essay more interesting. So looking through this article, one piece of evidence that I want to use is this one right here. So I'm going to copy and paste that into my research log. And because this information is coming from the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child, that's a credible source or an expert source. So that would be an example of ethos. Now I need at least one more piece of evidence from this source. So scrolling down a bit in this article, another piece of evidence I want to use is this one right here. So I'm going to copy and paste that into my research log. And because of the statistic 40%, because there's factual evidence in the sentence, this would be an example of logos. And because it's also about mortality, child mortality, mortality of their mothers, meaning like children and moms dying, that would be an emotional appeal. So that would also be pathos. Now I'm finished with this first source. So I would do the same thing for a second source. So remember, you need two sources of evidence to complete both pages on two different sources. Once you're finished with your research log, you want to move on to step number 3, which is to type your essay. So to type your essay, go back to my class website, click on Essay, Outline, and Instructions, and you also want to click on Problem Solution Essay Template. And just like what you did with the research log, you can file, make a copy. So let's go back to the outline here. So for your essay, you want to follow this outline paragraph by paragraph. It is a 4-paragraph outline. So for paragraph 1, you want to explain the problem to your audience. You want to explain why that human rights violation is an issue of concern. So as part of this paragraph, you want to include at least 2 pieces of evidence in sentences 2 and 5. And each piece of evidence will be from a different source. So you need a minimum of 2 sources for your essay. And then for your first paragraph, you're going to elaborate on each piece of evidence by paraphrasing the quote and explaining in your own words why that is a human rights violation. Meaning, why is that not right? Why is that an issue of injustice? Why is that not fair? If you would like to add more than 2 pieces of evidence, that's okay, that's great. Just make sure you elaborate on that. For paragraph 2, you want to come up with your solution. So this is an idea that you are coming up with, and remember, you have a specific CEO as your audience. So you want to think of what that CEO can potentially do to make this human rights issue less of a problem. So you're going to propose a specific solution for that CEO. You're going to explain what that CEO can do to make that solution happen. Remember, each of these CEOs is in charge of a major company or organization, so they have resources to make a difference. And you also want to explain how that solution you're proposing will help. After you type your solution paragraph, you want to address a counter argument. This is the opposite point of view. Why would people possibly disagree with your solution? And why would they believe that? Why would they not support your idea? So you're not arguing against yourself, but you're showing to your audience that you understand why some people might not agree with you. And then lastly, in paragraph 4, you're going to give a rebuttal, meaning you're going to argue back, you're going to explain why that counter argument is weak and why your solution is still a good idea that your audience should support. So you want to end your essay by reiterating why your solution should still be implemented. So you're going to type your essay here. So make sure it is a 4-paragraph essay, each paragraph indented by pressing the tab key on your keyboard once. For the essay title, it doesn't have to be overly creative. You're welcome to use your your human rights issue as the title. And lastly, we're going to complete step 4, which is to add a works cited page. This is why you added all those details about each source to your research log, because you need that information in your works cited page. So notice right here, that we have the information from our research log. So you want to put it in this specific order. Just replace each part of each example with the correct um, information from your research log. So you would have the author's last name, comma, first name. You would have the text title in quotation marks. Next would be the name of the website italicized, the publisher name, and if there's a publisher, and period, P period, date of publication in day, month, year format, the URL, and lastly the date you accessed the website. Right here below the first line, you see something called a hanging indentation. This means that all of the indented information is part of the first line above. So when you run out of space on the first line, and then each line below it, by pressing the Enter key on your keyboard and then the Tab key. It's kind of like a reverse paragraph indentation. So you'll do this for both sources, and then make sure that the works cited page is on its own page. So if your essay extends onto the second page, which it should, then press Enter on your keyboard. Just keep pressing it until the works cited is on the last page all by itself. Lastly, replace the MLA heading with the correct information to make sure it's your name, your class period, and today's date. Just as an example, let's pretend my name is, I don't know, Harry Potter. Last name, you also want to replace that with your last name. Keep the page number up there. Don't change that because it'll automatically update for each page. So once you're finished typing your 4-paragraph essay, you've fixed the MLA heading and the header on the top right, you have correctly completed the works cited page, then you are going to simply click on share at the top right of the page. This is the very last step of this process, and then you're going to type in my email address, syhscastro@gmail.com. So type in this specific email address, syhscastro@gmail.com. That way I have all of your essays in one place. And then you click on send, and then your essay will be sent to me. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions at all, please email me or message me through Remind 101. Thanks for watching. Please stay healthy. Please stay safe. Have a great day, everyone.